Very good morning, children. In the previous class, I was explaining you about the functions of roots and also the types of roots. Those are tap root as well as fibrous root. So, dear students, in the today's class, let us study one more important part of the plant, that is flower. Okay. So, is there anybody who is not attracted by the flower? So, each one of us are attracted by seeing a flower, right? So, a flower plays a very important role in the plant body. Not only it is an attractive part of the plant body, even it is very much helpful for the reproduction of a plant body. Okay, so in today's class, let us learn about the flower and its functions. Okay, so here look at the figure 7.19 A, B, C. So which one do you feel very easy to identify this given plant? In the first diagram, so that is just it's a leafless branch it is shown. Okay, so in second diagram, a branch with leaves it is given. So third one, a branch with leaves as well as flower is given. So which one helps you to identify the given plant easily? So that obviously it is third one. Okay, so we all of us like the plant with flowers. Okay, so are all flowers are colorful? Maybe or may not be. Okay, so most of the plants having the colorful flowers with them. Okay, so here there is one activity is given to understand the parts of a flower. Okay, so to this activity we need what? A bud and two fresh flowers each. One bud you need as well as two fresh flowers you need. Okay, along with that you need a flower of any kind of the mentioned below. China rose flower you can take, datura or mustard or else brinjal, lady's finger, gulmohar, any one flower you can take and one bud you can take. So along with that one blade and a glass slide. Okay, glass slide will be usually available in the science lab. Okay, so which is used to for many of the botanical work it will be used. So look at the figure 7.20 here in the diagram which is given here carefully. So you will see a prominent part of an open flower. Okay, so in that open flower which is given on the right side, so of figure 7.20 is having some prominent parts. So those prominent parts what we see in the given diagram, they are called as petals. We call them as petals of a flower. Okay, so different flowers have different types colors of petals. So each petal petals of different flowers will have different colors. So where do you think that these petals are arranged in a flower? Are they arranged in a closed bud or open bud? So that you have to mention here. So it's you will see that the part is which is part of the flower is most of the flower it is covered by a small leaf like structure. We call them as sepals. Okay, so below you can see the sepals even in the bud as well as in the flowers. Downside you will have small leaf like structures. We call them as what? Sepals. Okay, let's go for the next concept. So now you take any flower and observe its petals as well as sepals, and you have to answer for the following questions. So petals which are the prominent parts of the flower we call them as petals, whereas the two leaf like structures which are at the just below the flower, okay, which are attached to the stem, that node part, that we call it as sepals. Okay, so answer for these questions. What are the questions given mentioned here? See, how many sepals does the given flower have? How many sepals does it have? And what are the colors of the petals and sepals which are of this given flower? That you have to mention. Are they joined together or all the petals are joined, or what individual? I mean separate. So are the sepals they are present in the flower or not? Are they joined to one another or are they separate all the petals? So do the flowers with the joined sepals have petals that are separate and they are joined together? So suppose if there are sepals which are joined together, do they have the petals which are arranged separately or arranged together? So these are all the different questions which are arised after seeing the petals and sepals. For that, one observation on flowers at one column is given. What is that? Let us look at it. Have a glance over that. So name of the flower, it is rose flower. So number and color of petals. Okay, so there are many number of petals are there, we can't count them, and the color is pink, usually pink, white, or based on the type of flower it is the color of the flower. So number and colors of sepals. So how many numbers of sepals are there in the given flower. Okay, so sepals you have to write there, and what is the color of it. And are the sepals joined together or separate? So are those sepals joined together or are they separate? Separate. In the rose plant it is separate, sepals are separate. So stamens, are they free or joined to petals? So are the stamen, the male part of the flower, are they joined together to the petals, or are they separate? Okay, it is free. Okay, not joined to the petals. Okay, pistil present or absent? So pistil is present in the rose plant, it's the female part of the flower. Okay, so now, so by observing the following, by seeing all the questions, we have made the observe table. Okay, observe the table which is given here. So go for a field trip and try to fill up these all columns with for different flowers. To see the inner parts of the flower very much clearly, so we need to cut it open. We have to cut the flower into open. Okay, cut it, open it. Then later on we will be able to see the inner parts of the flower. So we need to cut it open. Okay, so if its petals are joined, for example in datura, other bell shaped flowers, okay, the petals are joined in datura plant flower. Okay, so the petals have to be cut lengthwise if they are joined together, and spread out so that the inner parts can be seen very clearly. So in order to see the inner parts of the flower in datura plant, you have to cut the petals what, in such a way, lengthwise, and so that you will be able to see the inner sides properly, okay, and clearly. So remove the sepals and petals to see the rest of the parts of the plant flower. Okay, petals also you have to remove, sepals also you have to remove. So what is there inside the flower? In order to see those inner parts of the flower, we have to remove the petals as well as sepals. Look at this figure 7.22 in that carefully, and you will see, compare that your flower with the illustration, and identify the stamens and pistils in your flower. Okay, by seeing that you will identify which are the pistils, which are the petals. Okay, so this it will help you to identify the stamens and pistil of your flower. Okay, so dear students, look at here 7.21, a bell shaped flower it is. So parts of the flower is stamen, that is male part, pistil is female part, and 7.23, that is parts of the stamen. In that anther is given, what below that structure, that helping structure, it is called filament, we call it is. Okay, so this is all about what the different types of what flowers and in their inner parts. In next class we will study the continued part of this. Thank you and have a nice day.